Welcome back, Super Fast Nation. It is a bright and beautiful Saturday morning. I got my little sidekick here in the car. We were working on his YFC 450 last night. I don't know if you guys could even see him. Got the trailer hooked up. Found an awesome deal on Marketplace, 4 hours away. The kid marked it pending for me all week. Super happy. Yeah, let's go get it. It's an 09 CRF 450R. It runs and rides, but it needs some welding on the case where the chain popped off and hit the thing. We'll check that out when we get there. Really good deal. Let's go get it. Let's fix it and sell it to somebody else for a good deal. Does this have the launch control or not? I know the
I'm not sure.
Do with this, but I don't know if this.
I don't think it is because it's an 09. I don't think they started that until like 2014 or something.
That's some money for you, sir. Let's count you out real quick.
There, this is 1,000, 500. 500. Thank you very much, man. Pleasure doing business with you.
1,500 smackers. Yep. Let's get her loaded up and let's go. I'll have this baby fixed tomorrow and ripping. I appreciate y'all. Oh, 100%. How's my hair look? Decent? All right. Before we get cracking, back on the CRF 450R, I'd like to take a second and thank today's sponsor of the video, FLEXIMOUNTS, with their garage fold down storage system. Now, FLEXIMOUNTS has worked with me in the past. I actually have one of their racks behind me over my shoulder, housing some very unique collectible toys, which I'll show you guys a pan shot of it here. I actually really like that rack. It had a nice crank system on it where you could crank it up and down, and that was one of the selling points for me, is I have all of this very high ceiling room to utilize here in the shop. So I was like, it'd be very cool to be able to store things high up, like on these pallet racks and stuff like that, because of having a car lift and having high storage space abilities like that. Now, I know some garages don't have 16-foot ceilings, but there are a lot that have 10-foot and 8-foot ceilings where you can reach pretty high. So I think garage shelving like this would work really, really good for y'all DIYers at home with your own home shops, doing your own thing with your kids. And that's why I brought this here to the channel for you guys, because I think it would be a really cool add to many of your home garages. So let's check this thing out real quick. The biggest selling point for me was the ability to fold down these racks in the event that I don't want them in the way for whatever reason, or I go pick a good deal up and I come back and I'm like, oh crap, I need a place to put it. Boom. I just opened up, I'd say roughly 2 to 3 foot worth of room just folding that rack down in. So that's one huge selling point for me. All right, guys, and check this out. This is kind of more along the lines of the finished product. I took the powder coating oven out. I took the cabinet out. I cleaned all this up. I still have a little floor cleaning to do yet, but look at all this space I was able to obtain. I got the Trimoto 175 parts here. I got the 3V twins for a twin engine cross cart build. Shh, don't tell anybody. That's why we have a spare engine, and we have all the stuff for the one engine in there. I have 400EX stuff, blaster stuff, wheels and tires from YFZ 450s, another Trimoto 175 wheel or motor. I have a blaster wheel. So like, this is a good rundown of saving space in an already clustered garage. And don't look at that. I have to clean that up yet, but we'll get to that. But the coolest feature is, check this out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it with one hand, but we're gonna push this whole oven in here. I left enough room where we should get pretty close to the face. So check it out, guys. Not bad at all. I opened up all this floor space. and we stick out maybe about a foot total, maybe a little less. And we get everything tucked back here neatly. I've got plenty more room to put more of this stuff in. Get some of these car motors out, the 2JZ, the B18. But anyways, guys, if you want to get your own FLEXIMOUNTS garage storage fold-down system, check the link in the description below. Let's get back to making this CR450R a ripper. All right, guys, we are back at the shop. And I kind of looked this thing over a little bit. It actually looks pretty good. I really thought it was going to be heavily clapped out. Now, aside of the plastics kind of looking a little jankier, having some holes in it in some areas, missing an air box cover on this one over here, and just, you know, general stuff like being scratched up and loose. Other than that, and I think we have to fix one of the tank bolts. We're going to have to epoxy that guy in a little bit. But outside of that, guys, I mean, the thing is actually a great runner. You guys got to see this thing rip wheelies across the yard with me and my floppers. And it looks like a pretty good rider. So we're gonna get this case welded up. Apparently they had some sort of chain smack, and I've fixed so many of these cases in the same exact area. Many, YFZ 450, KFX 400, YZ 250, RMZ 250, RMZ 450. The list goes on and on and on of cracked cases, and Zilla throwing the rod out the bottom. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Welding aluminum's just kind of become something I do pretty much on the weekly now. Every single week I'm welding some sort of aluminum. So anyways, good bike, good ripper. Let's get the case fixed, take this thing out for a ride, and then sell it to somebody who wants a good deal. All right, rippers and ripettes, let's get this thing ripping and riding so we can bring joy to somebody else's life and put some money in our pocket. First thing we got to do is get the oil drained out of this sucker, get all the clutch components removed, and get the entire side cleaned up and ready to touch with a welder. Oh, she don't have a ball. But are they supposed to? All right, well, that solves that. All right, next thing we got to do is get the stator cover off so that way we can get into all the little nooks and crannies and make sure this thing is fully welded, fully sealed, and that we don't disrupt anything in the neighboring area of the damage. Definitely way overdue for an oil change though. Holy moly. Okay, guess we're gonna be looking for a sprocket for that guy. Holy moly. Pro tip! When welding aluminum, be sure to first clean your surfaces extremely well. Aluminum is a soft, light, brittle, and very porous metal, which means it's got a lot of air inside of the grain of the metal, which means when you're welding it, dirt and everything can get trapped in those pores before you touch it with the welder. That's why you have to take extra precaution and make sure it's super, super clean. And a lot of heat also helps, but because aluminum is so soft, it's very easy to overcook it and blah, it just kind of falls like molten aluminum. So you have to be really careful here. It's all about balance, guys. Okay, boys, rippers and ripettes, we've got a small explaining session to do. For those of you who are trying to learn on the channel, here's some quick pro advice. There's two huge things you have to worry about with this. The first one is the fact that this rod and this bearing have to sit in the proper location up and down vertically. Because you see the rod here, I put the rod in, let me zoom in, boop. Oh God, that's like a million times zoom. Okay, so you can see here, that rod lines up with a portion of this. You see those little things? That's kind of where it needs to sit so this can push on the rod. So this rod, not this one back here, but this one has to sit properly. And the bearing, I'll look at the things, but you see this little ridge right here? I'm pretty sure that bearing's supposed to either get real close to that or sit down on that ridge. So I have to check cases and online and look at a picture, but I want that bearing to sit where it's supposed to go. So we're gonna make two pieces for this. First, we're gonna build this weld up right here until it's about level across, okay? And that's what I'll call the stopper. So I'm gonna lean the bike over, down on the ground, because I prefer to TIG weld this looking down at it rather than on the side, because this one's hard to get to. The TIG torch, this is a deep spot here. So I have to be really careful with this one here. Once I get this one built up, then I'm gonna go ahead and make two pieces of aluminum. I have this beautiful Kirky seat top over here that I cut off of a trike build that's behind me on the shelf up above for years now that my cousin keeps messaging me about, to a drift trike build. Anyways, so we're gonna make one piece be the ridge for the bearing right here. So it's gonna kind of be a lip that goes underneath the ridge of the bearing here that's gonna stop the bearing from trying to go down and hit this rod. And then we're gonna make a second piece that goes over top of the bearing, and then we're gonna seal that whole thing up pretty much. Boom, 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 boom. And then that's literally gonna be it. We will literally be fine. We'll shave anything off we gotta shave off with a grinder or a porting tool, and then that should complete the process. Let's get after it. Yeah, all right, I'll take that stack of dimes. Let's get after it. We'll blow one more layer across the top. Probably do a little on the side here. We'll come up this side just a little bit too. Just to get clean aluminum on it while it's hot. Bake everything out of the pores of the aluminum while we're taking a break to cut down the two pieces. Okay, mostly clean, still moves free. That's what I want. I want it to grab that shaft, be able to press it in. All right, let's build two pieces across the top. This one on the bottom will have a slight hump to it then, because we want it to touch the bottom of the bearing. And then this one's just gonna wrap around the top, and we're literally just gonna weld that whole seam then. And then this thing shouldn't leak, shouldn't do anything else. We should be good to go. Okay, now, this is the piece I made first. You can see it's got a slight, it's kind of off center ever so slightly, but that's okay, because this is not centered either. So we're gonna take the part that has the round towards this side and put it like that. Yeah, that's nice. So that'll be the ridge. The bearing will then sit on top of this so it can't fall down essentially. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna get a tack put on it first, and then I'll probably take the hammer, try to tap down a little bit on this, and we'll lay that bead in there. Just like so. I got a tack without even doing it, man. I love it. I don't want this one to cool down on me, boys. Yeah, so she still turns fine. Okay. That's all I need, really. Woo! Okay. Not bad, guys. I'm gonna go make the second piece. I'll be right back. Okay, now, I know what you may be thinking. John, how are you gonna make this square fit into such a weird looking shape? Because it kind of just goes up and then comes down like the stock market did last year. So first, first let's get this guy in there. And I had him wedged in there. All right, where'd you go? You were like right there. I want this wedged in as far as I can humanly get it. Now watch carefully, guys, okay? We're gonna do this in two or three steps. Maybe a couple more, we'll see. Oh man. No! No! Come on. All right, now. Oh, come on. Okay, I gotta do this with two hands first. All right, so we're like this. We're like this. I need to get a tack started first. That's first and foremost. That works. Okay, 2 tacks to hold the bottom on. Now let's trim this and bend it over. Actually, we might not even have to trim it. What if we just... Nah, we gotta trim it. Not bad, guys. Not bad at all. Those little gaps are really easy to fill in. At least for me. Some welders may not be so great at filling them in, but I'm okay at it. Oh yeah, don't stick your freaking thing in the oil, John. Alright boys, this is the final product here. Can't even tell it was fixed. I'll take it, let's get it back together, get it ripping and riding. Alright guys, and while we're at it, I did also decide to take a few minutes, clean up and weld the areas of the case saver bolt holes. They look pretty damaged, so I went ahead and fixed all of that so that the next guy can also put a case saver on this bike and not have to go through this same thing a second or third or millionth time. I got it though. I got it. I like it a lot. Alright Rippers, I did also manage to get this bike up on the dyno. I was really curious for a baseline CRF EFI 450 run. The only issue was I was combating a bunch of tire slip, and we did end up with 38 wheel horsepower, but I do think this is a 45 plus horsepower bike to the tire with no slip on the rear wheel. And even when I really ratcheted, strapped this thing down, let some air pressure out of the rear tire, I could not get that shredded tire to stick. And I unfortunately do not have a mix of rear wheels with Supermoto tires or street tires or drag slicks or anything like that to put on the dyno. So I am stuck using a dirt tire for now, and later on we will figure out how to get this thing to not slip so I can do proper dyno tuning for y'all. Stock, baby. I know what I saw. I know what I saw. Oh my God, we knocked the light down. I didn't even see that. Oi, baby. Oi, we're making oomphies. All right, let's check this baby out. Boo, not bad. Somebody guessed 36. Comment below if that was you. All right, boys. I'm gonna take this thing for a little rippy poo. Let's see what she do. The choke on. I haven't started it up in a couple days. Alright, so she's a second clicker. Oh yeah, maybe not hit my head off the throttle. Got 3 kicks, cold start, that's pretty good. I'll take that. All the way down. It's like 70. Not bad out today. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Working on a trade deal with this right now, and I'm bringing this up here to film it, so that way I could see if he likes it to trade it. I got an EFI YFZ that I want to stay. Let's see, I gotta fix that, but I'm hoping, guys, I'm hoping to do a couple test strips here, and if he likes it, it's like a 2012 YFZ 450. In decent shape, looks mostly stock, but I'd love to trade that for it. I really want to get back into EFI tuning a little bit. Oh, okay, yeah. That's slightly used, never been beaten before. I picked it up right away. Do a couple low rippers. And it does have this cool fancy kickstand on it, so I guess we'll be pressure washing her again. Yeah, this thing rips, man. Oh, why'd you do that? Karma. Woo! All right, baby, let's go. God, bro, this thing shreds. Oh, no problem at all. Oh, she's a thumper, man. I like it a lot. man. I like it a lot. It's not often I get crazy on a bike anymore. I'm just way better on a quad, that much I know. Stick to what you're good at. Nah, not really, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, bro. Woo! I like it. Yeah, man, she is a ripper. I like the horseplay. I can't help myself. You just have to learn to balance the weight. I kind of like it. I like that one. That's going to be the title pick probably. Alright. Oh, she's a good runner though, guys. I don't know. You tell me. Am I crazy? Good running bike, man. Catch you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Peace out. Aww. No way, bro. That's sick, yo.